Okay, so first up, as I mentioned, we do have New Gen, and he is going to be here in the chat with me, so I can ask him back and forth on various different things and all that stuff. Cool thing is I do play both of these characters. I play Doc way more than I play my Duck Hunt, but I can talk a lot about this matchup fairly easily, and since you are doing a first to 10 with those first 5 games, I can give you... Okay, cool. I will definitely be able to give you a pretty good insight into everything on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what you need to be doing. So overall, Duck Hunt Doc, Duck Hunt wins this very, very, very extremely solidly and very easily. It's just the big thing about Doc is once he gets in, like, he's got really good frame data and he's really strong. So while, you know, yes, we do win on paper. If you do mess up with your timing and he's just close enough, he can definitely put you in a world of hurt. Generally speaking, it should take about like 3 openings before he's able to like take your stock out. And one benefit that you definitely get is that it's very hard for him to edgeguard you, so you don't really have to be worried about that as much. Where Doc's gonna really like get his stocks is back throw obviously is really good. He can do down throw up air at later percent, so if he can't do a back throw, that might be something that he can do. The other big one is obviously up B out of shield if you're not safe with the way that you approach a shield. And then the other thing too is down tilt. I don't abuse this enough as him, but you can do down tilt up B and like that connects forever. So you can get like really, really easy stocks off of that. And not to mention that move is relatively safe. And of course he does have the pill confirms. But against Duck Hunt, just because of like the way that you place your can, especially if you're summing it, it's kind of harder for him to get that going on. Especially when you throw in like Gunman into the mix too. Like it's really hard for any pill confirms to work. If he's ever going to get a pill confirm on you, it's most likely going to be a 2-frame from you trying to recover to the ledge. But the good thing about fighting Doc is this. He cannot win unless like he just purely out fundamentals you or just out reads you in a lot of specific situations. So he's a very good character to fight to understand what your bad habits are. Because if the Doc player understands your habits, he's going to go to town on you. But as long as you know what you're doing in neutral and you just keep him out, it's hard for him to get anything done. He's just too slow and he doesn't have the range. But with that said, let's get into it. Oh yeah, Doc's buttons are insane. That's the only reason why he has like any redeeming qualities to him. And his combos are mad saucy. I love them. As long as it's all video game music, I can pause the lo-fi. But let's see. Also, I guess I should say real quick in terms of stages. So Doc's not really going to be killing you off the top outside of like up smash, but up smash is weird. It sends you diagonally, so more often than not, the top blast zone doesn't really matter when you're fighting Doc. So like if you're worried about getting ladder or anything like that, like honestly, he's not going to kill you any earlier on this stage than he would on another one. Like he doesn't have like any insane ridiculous combos that are just going to carry you off the top. That's not the character that Doc is. More likely than not, you're going to have to be a little bit more concerned about the horizontal blast zones compared to the stage. So if you're fighting Doc, your only concern really should be get the largest stage possible, and that's kind of it, because like it's going to be hard for him to get in against you. This is actually the smallest stage out of all of them, including width-wise. The only reason why it kind of messes with you and you think it's slightly larger is just because of these at the end over here and because of where the platforms are placed, where they're a little bit further out. So it kind of gives the illusion that it's a bigger stage, but it's actually the smallest stage out of all the legal stages that we have, including... It's either smaller than Smashville or it's the same size as Smashville. Let me just double check that real quick. Actually, I realize I have it in an easier place to find now. There we go. Stage width. And I need to see stats. So yeah, Yoshi's Story is actually the smallest one, even smaller than Smashville. It's just that the little slants at the edge will just mess with your head and make you think it's bigger. Yeah, Doc doesn't really have a great juggle game. It's just that he has like really good buttons. So, and most of the time if he trades, he's probably going to win it unless he's fighting like a super heavy. So yeah, obviously I would say, I imagine since you're doing a first to 10, I don't think you were really picking and banning stages. But if you were, I probably would have go to this stage. Just probably one of the last ones I'd get to. But I think you can ladder him off the top with up airs. One thing that you need to abuse against Doc, which that was kind of a big mistake right there, is you need to abuse shield can. So if you just decided to hold shield here, this Doc's going to press buttons on your shield, and he's going to blow himself up. He has no answers to shield can. The only thing you can do is if your can is not in shield and he throws a pill, then that can do it, but it's really hard for the pill to actually hit the can when you're shielding over it. So even that's not really an answer. So he's just going to have to wait. Like, see, like right there, like he just did an up air into you. So if you held shield, put it around it. Again, if you're going to go for clay pigeons, you need to get the full combo off of it. Otherwise, it's just not worth doing. Yeah, don't roll in. So, general rule for fighting Doc. Whenever he does like anything where you need to tech, always like tech away 90% of the time. Because like there, he did the nair, he landed there, you landed all the way over here. He cannot physically reach you in time to get a punish on you if you tech away, just because he's way too slow. In some cases, like if there was no platform here, he might be able to do like a full hop pill to catch you. But like considering you're such a small character like Duck Hunt and the pills bounce like a lot, even that's not too reliable for him to get a confirm off of. So just generally tech away if you can, but like let's say he does an air here and you have the option to tech there or go in, and then of course mix it up there. Because like then at least if you teched in place or teched away, he can dash up B. But as long as it's not like a scenario where it's like if you tech, you're in roll distance away, just always tech away. Yeah, learn your can throw combos. Like you just were pummeling it way too early, or pinging it way too early. Aw, man, you had it. That's the other thing too. If you do not run into Doc, Doc cannot kill you. He has no way to kill you from afar, so always remember that when you're fighting like at death percent. You got really lucky that that cat actually missed him. Because otherwise that cat was just going to hit you. So that was a big mistake right there. So right here, I mean, obviously this is kind of weird, but right as soon as like you know the pill's going to just bounce and land there, you can dash forward and stay underneath this platform. So that way you can shark him with up airs. So that way it's like you stay there. If he lands on top of the can, you ping that, and then that blows him up, and then that lands there. But like your job at this point is to land over here so you can get the stock off of him. Because he lost his jump, so he wouldn't be able to do it. But because you only did like only the last hitbox hit him, I think if you got like all three, you might have been able to take his stock out there. Like we can go back real quick and we can see what the whole thing looks like in the side. Yeah, so it's like right there, you got it about there. So maybe it wouldn't have killed just yet because you have no rage. I think rage might have been the big factor there. But regardless, he'd be higher up and then you'd be able to like do a much better juggle setup. Also, I would say go back and watch that battlefield guide. Don't worry about that one first. But this is not a good way to move your can. Whenever like they're up there, you want to do like full hop can. So then that way it's like your can is automatically in the zone where it's going to cover over here. And then when they land, you can like, drop down and punish them. See, like he like did nair and landed there. You could have just dropped back and then like back aired. That was good. If you didn't do that F tilt, I don't think it would have shield poked him. Okay, so the other thing you need to remember about Dr. Mario is that his recovery's like awful in every shape and form. So when he's trying to like do anything, especially if you're at 0%, if you're at 0%, like you have nothing to worry about, by just like going off stage and just pressuring him with anything. Because like he doesn't have the range. He doesn't have anything to contest him. So like if he used his jump already and you just tap him with Nair, Dr. Mario's just dead. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, that was kind of, you just had a drop down back air there. Easy enough. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, if you aren't comfortable with triplats, do watch the Battlefield guide I made. That'll kind of explain the game plan you need for them. Oh god, that was scary. So, just future tip. If you're ever like running away and your opponent's chasing you like this, you want to use pivot grab. So like pivot grab, by just doing any option at all, including attack, because our pivot grab is just absurdly disjointed with everything that we do, it's going to beat out every option that your opponent has unless they have like a sword. A sword's like the only thing that gets around it. I know I've talked about this move a lot, but yeah. Like, especially against Dr. Mario, he's got nothing against that. So as long as he dashes into you, you'll grab him that way. You don't have to worry about blowing yourself up. Like, that'll also outrange his up B as well, which I'll show real quick. That. Dock. Minimize. There. Up B. I love this move. Yeah. So if you look at that and you compare that to this gets outranged. So you don't even have to worry about that move hitting you. There we go. See, like, a time like that would be a good time to throw out a gunman just because it would block the pills, and if it doesn't take them out, then it would provide pressure there. There you go. There's our first shield can. That was nice. Finally, there we go. You do have to be a little bit careful about your shield though, because like Doc does have the capabilities to break it, so use it a lot, but be very conscious of when it's getting small. Also love how you guys like also do like the waveland back, both on the same exact platform. It's always the same motion too. It's like you guys aren't even close to each other when you do it. Gelato SSB, thanks for the follow. Oh, what the? No! Good stuff. That's all you need. It's like, I don't know if you were watching like my previous match critiques where I was talking about just getting used to doing down angled F tilt at roll distance, but you know, for everybody that's having trouble killing at the ledge, that's just the first one you need to focus on. Oof, yeah, that was a little bit close. Yeah, see, like that was just inefficient for everything that you could have done there. Let's break that down a little bit. Okay. So, okay, you've got the can going under this way. At that point, you've just recognized that he's going to go down. But what you did here was you dropped the can below. So if you're going to use can to cover like plat drop, what you do is you just wait right here. And then if he does an aerial, you can just go up and up air it. Or if he shields, you can just go and up air it just to like pressure the shield and make it go down a little bit. And then you can just stay right on top of that can. And then if he decides to drop down with an attack, you'll shield can it immediately. Or that. Doing the up tilt there, it's like the can was already covering something and he's already right there. So there's no reason to just kind of delay it with the can there. And it's like, even if you hit them with the can, it's kind of ambiguous what side he would go to. Because, like, ideally, you either want him juggled or you want him to go to the right. If he gets hit left and he DIs that way, he's going to be sent all the way over here and you pretty much reset neutral. So it's like, that's why that was just not good. That was just not a good option to use there. Somebody watching doesn't know. Oh, so when you do down angled F tilt, it just kills the opponent earlier. Generally, it's like 5 to 10% earlier. I forget which one it is exactly, but it's pretty significant. The down angled F tilt specifically, not up. That makes him live longer. Good shield can. Good stuff. And as I say, that should do it. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so it's like, at least off of that first game, there were definitely some inefficiencies that you had there. Mostly in terms of just like the projectile placements and exactly how you're trying to keep him out. There's a couple of times where it's like he was far away and decided to go for like the pigeon instead of going for can, where it's just his reaction time was good enough that he was just jumping over it pretty consistently. So pigeon usage has to be better when you use it, and then you're also not really converting off all the pigeons that you got. Like I think you only had one, where it's like it's also the most random one too, where you did it on the platform, you convert it into the up airs instead of just like the generic ones on the ground that landed. Let's talk about this stage real quick. This stage is very straightforward. Same idea behind triplats. Just camp under here. And then it's kind of a nightmare for Dr. Mario to get in. So you just stay over here. That way he can't like really fall down with aerials. Really hard for him to do like fair through this thing. So you're pretty much only having to worry about getting hit by like nair and back air. And then maybe dare sometimes, but that's kind of really it. And then it also protects you from the pills. Like if you throw out Gunman and you have like the platform right here, there is no chance that pill is ever going to hit you. So you pretty much remove that entire game plan out from him. So pretty much you're just going to camp under there. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Thanks for thinking about the YouTube viewers. They're gonna be honest. I think there's like a consistent like 20 or 30 people that watch these. So I'm not sure how many of them are just like new people coming in, but you know, it's definitely a good thing. Like you can definitely learn a lot by just watching all these match critiques. So one thing I do want to comment that I'm really a fan of that you're doing is like you're pretty much constantly covering the roll distance. Like all the time. So that's good to see. Oh god. He was really close to getting that one. Yeah, Yeah, just be patient and he can't do anything. Yeah, whenever you do the quick the strong clay pigeon on shield, always be ready for the jump, because like if they do, then you get a free combo off of it. And that's at this percentage, this is the one where you'd get on this stage from that position, you'd probably get triple clay pigeon, and if you can do the final follow up, you'd probably get the kill. Oh, thanks, donuts. Oh, that was scary. Oh. Afro with the sub? We're one sub away now from getting the official duck hunt matchup. Wait. 2 more? Wait, is it did that count? Okay. I'm gonna be so mad if that sub chat doesn't go up. Cause you haven't I don't think. Yeah, that added 2 more. So that should go up 1 more time. And if it doesn't, either way, we have officially made it to the official duck hunt matchup chart sub. But I don't know why it's not showing up there. It should. We'll keep going. And if it doesn't by the end of it, I'll be sure to just throw it in there. Okay. Thanks, Afro. So, okay, you know, while I complain about clay pigeon a lot, there's some really good things that you can do with it. Okay, that right there. I mean, thankfully you got the hit on him, but as you can see, it just kind of deals damage. You can't get a true follow-up off of this. Whenever you use clay pigeon, always remember that thing is a mine the second that it's activated. So when it hits shield, you can just do nothing with it. And your opponent needs to avoid that area at all times. They can't even throw out a hitbox there, because if they throw out a hitbox, it's going to detonate on them. So what you do is when it hits shield, just be a little patient, and then just like let it drop to an area where you can convert off of. And then just be ready when it happens. So, fun thing to do. Yeah, I'll be sure to like publicly list the day that we're going to do it. So then that way everybody can just kind of chime into the discussion, and I can tell you why that works or why you are completely wrong about everything you just said. So that'll be a good thing to do. Big drop right there. Obviously, he just did an up B. If he did down tilt there, he was dead, because I think he used his jump. Or down angled F tilt. Both would have killed. See, that's the thing that you need to remember. It's like, you can just like pressure with up airs. This is the one thing I'll say though. If you are, make sure you're up airing in the way where you're not going to be like going towards the blast zone, just because of this. If you up air incorrectly and you don't like immediately fast fall it, Doc should be able to up B out of shield and punish you. So you do need to be very, very careful about that. So definitely be cautious when you're pressuring the shield, but you can do it. Oops. God, I don't know why this one's having so many weird issues with loading. Yeah, just take the throw. Also, I think you did just... Not only did you give him the stock, you did just save him there, because I think the gunman was going to hit him. Let's look at that. Yeah, that gunman was going to hit him, and that would have killed him at 163. There we go. Oh, what the? I don't know if you, I mean, if you're trying to go for up smash, if that makes sense, but yeah, definitely that's not the Clay Pigeon God will tell you the follow-ups. Always remember you gotta be worried about throw armor if Can's involved. So let me talk about that real quick. As I've mentioned in the past, I am going to be doing the advanced duck hunt guide, but it's not going to cover this topic. So let me talk about this real quick. So something that you can do is, which I think just happened here. Let me just go frame by frame to just confirm it. Yeah, it did. Cool. So what I think happened is I think you did the reticle hit right as soon as this happened. And because you did the reticle hit, it actually canceled out the attack, and then it just blew him up. Which I'm not 100% sure if that's what happened because I don't see the reticle go around there. But the reticle hitbox does come out frame 1. So if you did time it correctly and you become like good enough at this, with your can control, whenever you think someone's going to attack your can, you actually can press the B button to just beat out whatever attack it is. Like even if it's just like a disjoint. I think like the only thing that could beat it out is like maybe a transcendent one, but I think that hitbox is transcendent as well. Actually, you might be able to tell me that, Donuts. Can you look up the hitbox properties for the reticle hitbox? I'm not sure if you can actually find that out, but yeah, for the most part, you can basically use that to just beat out any single attack. So if it's a brawler, like their hitbox is attached to it, it'll automatically result in a detonation that will like set them off, or it'll just cancel out their attack, and then you'll be able to punish them for that. Yeah. No, I think I was right, like right at the range. Like you have to remember that all the gunmen except for like the sombrero one, they basically owe half of FD. Oh god, that's so scary. That was smart. He knew he was about to get shield canned. As you see, you're getting like a little too antsy with those clay pigeons. Like you're just doing it right against the shield. Can clank with stuff normally. Okay, gotcha. Ah, okay. You had the right idea at the very least. That would have killed if you landed it. Ah, you got buffered. You know, unfortunately, at the percentage he was at, that wasn't going to lead into any true follow-up unless he did, like, maximum DI off that clay pigeon. Again, just use gunmen. Like, there's no reason for you to actually deal with these pills. Like, you really don't have to approach him at all. Oh, that was nice. Not a bad bait, actually. Oh, God, that hurts. Good rule of thumb to remember against Doc. As long as you're not at like 150, he's not going to exactly kill you in the air with anything fast. Like he could technically do a tornado, but tornado's really slow. So as long as if you get thrown, like just jump away. There's pretty much nothing he can use to really catch you. If he hits you, that means he hits you with a true combo. But like he doesn't really have. If it's a string, he can't really follow up. What was I was gonna check tornado. Yeah, tornado starts frame 10. So like there is a certain range, and I don't know if it's like DI dependent if you can do down throw down B or up throw down B. I think it only works with down throw down B. I think there's like a very specific range where that's true, but I'm not sure if it's like character dependent or something like that. But like just jump. Like you never have to worry about dying to him as long as you do that. Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of cases, like, you know, you're used to, like, hey, I'm going to die. I mean, I don't want to take damage. So he's like, you'll air dodge. So as long as it's not true, the air dodge will come through. But that's how they get their stocks. Man, he got lucky with that one. Let me see. That was just, like, such a wacky hitbox, too. Let me see that. Like, I get so unlucky with Doc. Whenever I go for fair, I always get the weak hit. So that means I'm hitting either the first frame or the final frame of hit. Oh, you jumped. Aw, dang it. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's a little sus. What? Huh? That hitbox ain't that big. Okay, let's check this out, because that looks weird. Because he's like at this part. Okay, so his head is also. Okay, you're getting hit by the head. That's what's going on. I did not realize that was a hitbox. I always thought it was just the hand. I guess that's where it comes into play, though. Huh. Would you look at that? It does. It does look like a kick. So I know this is one of the main games you wanted me to look at. Yeah, you really need to be just more aware of your projectiles and exactly what he's doing. Also, you need to be really careful with the way that you're approaching him. So most of the interactions you're going for, you would be blowing yourself up with the can. So you need to make sure that it's like you then the can, or the can then you. You're kind of going at it at the same exact time, and that's going to lead to a lot of issues. I think it was the dog's head. I don't think it was the duck. Okay, good. Do you reset your can? That's not something that I get to say too often. Something else to remember is that Doc does not have good hitboxes below him, so don't be afraid to anti-air him with up airs. Which actually, let me check that. So I'm not sure if you got the clank there. Let's see. So okay, it doesn't look like you actually hit the can at all on this one. Oh wait, you did. There we go. Yeah, see, that's what you can do with it. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. You ping the can correctly, it'll clank, and then you'll win. See, that was just like wasted potential right there. Like you could have dropped down as you were doing the can pinging and then just covered the roll with F tilt. Oof. Man, he played himself there. Yeah, just always remember that they're going to always do something like that. Just run away. Just run away from the player. Run away from the Doc. If you get hit by up air, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely not watching him. Cause like whenever like this just happened, like it should be pretty easy to tell that he's coming from there. So all you had to do really is just like commit to just like anti-airing with up airs. It was a really, really telegraphed move. Again, it's just like you're leaving so much empty room for just nothing to happen. Like even when you land here, you could at least like place a gunman here. So then that way it's like either if he stays in shield, that will put him in hit stun, which would allow you to pressure him for free. Or it's just like he parries the can and then he gets hit by the gunman. There we go. See again? You just stopped anti-airing him there. Oh no. You gotta remember, if somebody ever jabs your shield, like that's a free grab every single time. And then if you're able to kill him, which you weren't able to there, I think he was close enough to get the up smash, but you do need to make sure it's a jab or you can up smash it, because if it's a sword, obviously not gonna reach, unless like you dash into him. But most jabs are punishable enough that you can do the dash into them. At least if it's like a gentleman or a rapid jab. If it's just like a single jab, then most of the time those are pretty safe. Again, there's no need for you to run into him there. Oh, what's up, Midoro? Ohayou gozaimasu, Midoro. Genki desu ka? Oof. Yeah, see, there we go. He's dead. So yeah, like whenever you're fighting Doc, you just gotta remember, like, as long as you just tap him off stage and he burned his jump, like, he's gone. So like, there's never really a reason not to pressure him off stage. And like, the only reason why Dr. Mario's would be living when they're off stage is because the opponent doesn't like go off stage against them. That's kind of the only reason. Trade secret about Docs. Now the one mix-up they can do, if you cover low and they go high, obviously they'll get around you. As long as you're patient enough and like you know what to look for, they should never make it back. It's a rough life out here for him. See, it's like, okay, so let's look at the decisions just made right here. So obviously, over here, you're attempting to approach him while you're in the lead, and he's letting you get circle camped by Dr. Mario. Like, say that out loud to yourself. That's good. Watashi mo genki desu. But yeah. Whenever like you have Dr. Mario like platform camping you, you need to understand that this is completely fake, and there's absolutely no way that he's able to platform camp you, especially as like Duck Hunt. I use this psychology a lot against people. Like there'll be some players that I will be 2 stocks down against, and I'm playing Doc because that's a character I play a lot to train with people, and I will literally sit back, chuck pills at them, and not approach. And almost everybody cracks. And then like once you get to that point, it's just like they just bleed themselves open to you just because like they just keep approaching because they just want to hit you and finish you off. But then that's when you just like take advantage of all their habits of them like coming to you, and you just like obliterate them for doing that. And until they get back into the mentality of like, wait, I just need to wait, I need to sit back and not approach, then it'll be back in their favors. But so right now, Doc's above you. and like he's just kind of like resting right there. F tilting the can's going to do no good for you because it's just going to send it this way, and Doc's nowhere over there. Like, can should be exclusively to cover just this side of the stage. That's it. Can's got this half of the platform covered, and it has this part underneath the platform covered. You should be focused on covering the rest with Duck Hunt there. So like middle part, you can just up air. This doesn't do anything for you. If he goes over that way, you wait for him to attack and then like jump back air. Things like that. Oh god, that was a really bad panic. That was scary. if he was like really, I mean, I imagine he might be somewhat used to this matchup if he plays you a lot. He could have just ran up and upbeat you. There was actually no reason for you not to die there. Oh yeah, no, that does not work at all on Yoshi's. And honestly, it's not really too good of a tri-platform thing. Like the only reason why you F-tilt can is if your guys are on opposite sides of the stage, then you'll F-tilt it. But if it's like middle and top, no, you don't F-tilt can. At least from that position. If like the can's on the ledge itself, that's a different story. Also, pro tip. I know I've mentioned this quite a bit. This scenario, 9 times out of 10, if you roll to your can, you will not get punished. Just because they're really scared to challenge it. And they need to do something very, very specific to get around it too. So like, if it's like Cloud or KO Roll, where they have a really good dash attack where they can ignore the can and kill you, you know, it'll still kill you across the entire stage. So as long as your percentage is good, you don't have to really worry about that. And if they have like a really good back throw, but if they dash grab too far and you ping the can, then that will blow them up. So generally speaking, you want to put the can to where this little ledge is, then you roll into it. And then as the dog gets past it, you ping it. So then that way it stops them while you're still invulnerable and you get back free. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's just having more matchup awareness. Yeah, again, whenever you have a brawler just jumping around your shield, all you really need to do is focus on shield can. Hold shield here, start pinging the can, and then just stay like this. And if you did that, he would have been punished right there. Ended up here. If he decides to tech on the platform, then you either can do a clay pigeon and then jump down air and kill him. Or you could even do like a smash attack read, but honestly, I would just play it safe and get like a back air. Yeah, this is why we don't go for clay pigeon. I just always gonna be cognizant of it. So, if anything, this is probably the best stage for us to go for. Not only is the ceiling not too high, but this is also the widest stage in the entirety of the set list for Smash Ultimate. So, this is the absolute best stage for just staying away from Doc, and that should be like the only name of the game going on. Oh, God. Ooh, no, don't do that. Never do that. Okay. So after you hit your opponent and they need a tech here, so like in this case, no tech, you could have just like fast fall, jump, up aired, and then probably chained one more and then, or just like done up air, then jump, wait for the attack, and then back air, the attack or air dodge. And then you get him off stage and then you do a whole like, let's try big thing. He has a really hard time getting out of disadvantage, so you need to abuse that to the maximum potential. You just let him like reset for free, and there is no reason for that to happen. Also, around that percentage, that's when you can do double clay pigeon. That at that percentage and his weight, you do the short hop variation to get the second one. And then by the time you got that, might have been able to down air him, but if not, back air is your choice. There we go. Go to the can of safety. Yeah, you're dead. There's nothing you can do about that one. Yeah, people get too addicted to clay pigeon just because you practice it way too much in training mode. That's normally where it stems from. You know, there's quite a lot of people that don't know what to do against clay pigeon, but once they discover the jump button, their whole dimension changes. Oh god, yeah. See, like, this is the thing, like, something that you need to keep in mind is, like, when you're losing against Dr. Mario, the only reason why you're ever losing against Dr. Mario is always because you decide to approach him. Like, there's very few characters that actually need to do that. Oof. Again, just be consistent with just going for anti-airs against him. Just because like the lack of anti-airs makes it so easy for him to land. There we go. Again, you see, like, that's the issue of just running in. You just ran into him, so now he can back air you. Shield can. Ah. Also, like, when you're just used to shield can happening, like, you'll just be able to automatically be like, okay, I can do an air, I can do a back air out of this. Or a grab, depending if he's just in front of you. Oh, yes, he didn't believe in your hit. Like, especially where you did clay pigeon from, you could have gotten the quadruple. Or maybe even 5. If you're good enough, you could have gone 5, but you had the quadruple set up actually. Okay, now this is the point where all you need... Oh, dang. I was going to say, this is the point where you just leave Cad here and you just go off and tap him with Nair. Because, like, as long as you do that, he's dead. I'm guessing that was a lag spike. It seemed like it. Oh god, oh. Be so careful with air dodge again. Yeah, this doc doesn't really seem like he's going for his down throw combos. That was a really good tack. That's... I think he got hit by like 2 different hitboxes at the same time. Oh, that's impressive. Yeah, I was about to say, the one thing that you don't do is you don't approach, you wait for the up smash, and you run away. That's it. Maybe you could do 5, though. Yeah, 4 is generally the most that you can do. 5 is a very rare specific scenario, and you have to do it at low percents. Like, I've only seen, I think Husky was the one that got the 5 one. It was either Husky or Pyro, it was one or the other. See, again, that wasted all your time. Like, he falls to the ground so slow after up B. Like, you can get a guaranteed punish off of that. That was really good timing by him. Again, it's like going for the can setups is going to help you way more than going for the clay pigeons. Ah. Yeah, you kind of got yourself there. But yeah, no, like the consistent issues that you're having is this. So Doc can beat you if you leave yourself like very vulnerable a lot and you consistently approach. And those are like two of the things that you're doing. So obviously the vulnerability comes from the clay pigeons that you're doing, and a lot of them are just very badly placed, ill-advised ones. And like you're just kind of running into them a lot with like fair in particular, or just like run up clay pigeon against him. It's just like that. Even a couple of dash grabs too. Like you think you have an opening, but he's completely safe with all the options he's doing. And because you go for like that commitment against him, he's just able to get like a huge punish on you. So you got to be very careful about that. So, okay, let's talk about that first up air chain. I'll just do this. Okay, so I think you used your double jump there. Let me check real quick. Okay, so like just kind of like the way that you did that first up air, you weren't going to get a second up air at all. So as you're doing that one, you just like start doing can. So then you get can to cover this platform here. And then after that, he burns his jump. So all you have to do is worry about covering this platform where the back went. You just follow right where he is. And your up air is going to beat out any attack he does. And then if he air dodges, you can obviously wait and get the punish there. That's what you always want to do on all tri-platform, or actually any platform stage, but more specifically tri-plats. And see, like that's the other thing. So, you know, instead of here, let's say you did like short hop can. Short hop can would automatically cover this zone, so he's going to probably try to go below. So then that way you can just kind of be ready to like hit him with fair whenever he comes here. If you hit him with fair, it automatically links to can if you have can placed here. And then if he jumps, you automatically have can to just beat out like all of his aerial approaches there. So those are the things you really need to think about. Whereas this one, this just limits you to covering below the platform. He's got no jump. You need to abuse that. Still got no jump. You got really lucky with that one. And again, against Dr. Mario, just never be scared to go off stage with Nair, because like the strong hit of up B is only at the beginning. After that first initial frame, then it's not scary at all. Like if you get hit, you know, at this percentage you would, even if you splat, it's not going to kill you off the stage spike. I'm surprised you just said an up smash there. See, again, you're going into him. There you go. That's not something you need to do. Yep, now he's dead. That's all you have to do the entire time you're fighting against Dr. Mario. Doesn't matter what percentage he's at. He always spawns at death percent. Yeah, it's a first to 10. What are you doing? What was that punish? I mean, I don't know if you were trying to be respectful or something, but like, okay, after you rolled away and he still decided to charge, that's when you throw the clay pigeon out, and then it's like be clay pigeon, fair, fair, and then you dash back and you get your ledge trap. No idea what all that junk was. Remember, whenever you're fighting a brawler and like they need to chase you down, you always think about where can I set up shield can. So it's like, you know, when you're intentionally shielding on it all the time and like people can see it a mile away and they know the matchup specifically, they won't approach you. But like when it's like very kinetic and there's not a very obvious shield can that you're going for, that's when you do things like this. Like, let's say, oh, I have can placed there. We're scrapping down here. Then I'm going to jump and then just shield right on top of here. So then that way they'll probably jump and up air me because they'll forget about the can being there. Those are the kind of things that you need to get into later on. See, it's like there. That would have been an automatic shield can punish. So yeah, very good shield can punish right there. Again, it's like when he goes for the pill, he's stuck in that lag for a very long time. So when you know you have a free clearing to go and like punish him when he lands right on top of it, that's your time to just dash, do that, and then in this case you just down air because I would straight up kill Doc. But I guess he killed it. He psyched himself out there. Yeah, you psyched yourself up way too much. So yeah, and like this is the thing where it's like you place the can on top, so then that way you've got that covered, and then he's only got that to focus on. Yeah, I was very misguided. Yeah, see, all you gotta do is just keep shield can. Just keep that shield can up, and he's not gonna do anything because he can't. Again, it's just like you have shield can. Dr. Mario, I don't think he has a throw that can actually get rid of the can, except maybe down throw. Let me check. Okay, Dr. Mario has no throw that can get him around shield can, and this is the reason why. He doesn't have a hitbox on any of his throws. So if he does this, no hitbox. Back throw, no hitbox. Forward throw, no hitbox. Down throw, no hitbox. So basically after he throws, you can just ping the can to automatically punish him. So he actually cannot get around that. So, like, you know, if he pummels, that blows both of you guys up. So, you know, you kind of win there. But, like, with, like, the way that you were, like, treating that, especially since he's basically always doing forward throw against you or back throw, that was, good, like, complete mismanagement of your can usage right there. It's just, like, you have can there to cover you, and then you just blow him up after he does it. Yeah, you were at least pretty patient there. You just kind of messed it up a little bit. There we go. Good stuff. No! Just there! Stop letting Dr. Mario come back. After that, he's just a sitting duck. Oh my god. How did you let Dr. Mario come back from that? And the other thing too you need to remember is that Dr. Mario is just weak off stage, so you just keep throwing him off stage. And it's like he's heavier. He's a lot heavier than like a bunch of other characters, so you don't want to up throw him, especially when you have no rage, because that's not going to kill. Just keep throwing him off stage, and then eventually you just tap him with anything. Okay. There we go. Now he's dead. Yeah, that's what you should be doing regardless if you have the lead or not against Dr. Mario. Because Dr. Mario cannot do anything against you. That's all you should be doing. But when you need to know how to push advantage when the opportunity comes up as well. Because, like, you know, there's times you get the hits in, but then you, like, just take away any type of, like, potential good that you give yourself. And you need to make sure when you get the advantage, you're pushing it as much as possible, and you know when you're not overextending. So the main thing that you need to realize is, like, especially, like, when it comes to certain characters and their dynamics and all that stuff, is just, like, you just don't approach them just because they will naturally open themselves up as they come to you. And that is, like, where the true strength of Duck Hunt lies. Now, the way that you go about that, like, changes from character to character, and that's what makes him such a complex character to play in the first place, because one plan does not work for all of them. Like, the way that you're going to fight Doc is not going to be the same way that you fight Mario, outside of, like, a few tactics that work the same against them. But, like, that all just comes down to, like, their speed, and the way that they combo you is just so unbelievably different that you have to just play the matchup differently. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like you need to tell yourself like what's best for everything, and you need to realize that like if your ego is like very very untrained in what's supposed to be going on, then it needs to be trained. Like you need to. I think like especially when you're an early player, like you know you just started beating all your friends and all that stuff, and then obviously you go 0-2 at tournaments because you're not good. um, One of the best things that you need to do is that you need to just go back and watch your videos so you kind of understand why your ego is wrong, and you like at least you start questioning yourself. That's important. If you're not questioning yourself, then that's kind of bad, at least in the growing phases. You need to get to a point where after you're done, like after you like start asking all these questions, then you get to the point where you need confidence, because like without confidence you're going to do nothing. But you need to first understand why your decisions are bad. And then once you understand why your decisions are bad, you need to make decisions and commit to them. And then after the game is done, you think about, okay, what worked, what did it? And then you apply that to the next game. But like very, very early on, if you think you're hot stuff, you need to learn why you're not hot stuff. Then after that, that's when the confidence is supposed to come back. And then you just like try to figure out what works and what doesn't. But yeah, no, overall, you did something really good. Like again, you're purposely putting yourself in a lot of scenarios to cover roll, especially at ledge. You were pretty spot on with covering that roll distance, which is something that a lot of other players need to do that are on here. So definitely, I know Wolfers, you're next. I think you're the only other Duck Hunt, so I'll have to watch you and just really make sure that you get that part down. After that. Yeah, clay pigeon usage was bad, but you've kind of acknowledged that already. Your tri-platform playing was terrible. You need, like, at least specifically for how you're supposed to play those stages. Like, if you haven't watched it, or if you have watched it, go back and watch that tri-platform guide that I have. Just type in Battlefield, you'll find it. It'll be there. And so that way you kind of understand the lane system and exactly how you have to play it. Just a brief little reminder is basically whenever you get your opponent juggled, like, and they're above here, can covers one platform, or you place it in a way where it'll cover one platform and the top one, and then Duck Hunt covers the other two. But generally the rule is can is one, Duck Hunt is two. So Duck Hunt will cover top side and can covers one side. And then from there, you basically make it impossible for your opponent to land, and then you just kind of rinse and repeat that, and then you get them off stage. Neutral wise, you just kind of stay underneath the platform, cannon gunman, and you basically just cover yourself. So then that way it's really hard for them to get in. Like when you're fighting a character like Samus, it almost becomes like unwinnable when you have that platform, because it's just like it's so hard for them to get anything by you. So that's what you really need to go for in those stages. But did you have any questions in the meantime? Like overall, it was pretty straightforward for you. And then obviously with a matchup like Dr. Mario, just don't approach. Like, there's never going to be a reason for you to ever approach Dr. Mario. Unless there's like 1 minute left and you're like, platforms, because main reason is this. So remember that your up air is actually a really dumb move hitbox wise in a good way. Your up air is huge. So like this one, not too disjointed, but this one, like you can be completely underneath the platform and there's no way for them to hit you. And then when hit 3 comes out, that does a lot. Not to mention that if you rise with it too, you can land on the platforms and just keep them juggled and whatnot. And you can also like fall through them as well. So it's really, really hard for them to hit you. The can placement will vary on it. In the battlefield guide, I talk about the different areas you can place the can. So, for example, can here, like on the platform, if he jumps, you can have that to cover it, or you can have can back here. So that way, if he does decide to jump and he lands on the platform, he's got to deal with that can immediately. So that's really good for covering if you miss. And then, you know, if he does like do one where he just like does standard get up, you can do the one where you ping the can, it falls on top, and that leads into a grab or into a different move. So when it comes to like can being on here for the ledge trap, there's a lot of different ways that you can play it. And from your understanding of the player and what you personally feel comfortable with, that will kind of determine where you place the can. There's no right or wrong way to place it. The only thing is this. If there's a setup where you can use the Marth Slayer, which is where you do shield can and their hitbox from their up B goes above to stage spike them, that's when you want to go for that, because Battlefield's one of the easiest stages to do that for. But outside of that, your can placement, you can vary it in a lot of different areas. But yeah, generally, you always want to stay below the platforms, just because like neutral-wise, it's really hard for them to get to you. Because like if you're below there and you have gunmen out here, no projectiles get by, and if they hit the gunmen, that puts them an extra hit lag, which makes it easier for you to react and punish them. So that's the reason why you go for that. But yeah, you'll find more details about that inside the Battlefield guide. So yeah, make sure to check it out at a certain point. Good stuff.